What is OSIMA ball reviews, Keegan here, and today we're going to be talking about the Wolverine Dark Moss from 900 Global. Now, this ball is, of course, technically a re-release of the original Wolverine after it got soft banned from the USBC. But roll-wise, it's a re-release of another ball that we'll get into later. But let's talk about the specs and what I thought it was going to be. It's the Lacerate 2.0 core, which is a 2.54 RG and a 53 differential, with the S70 Pearl cover stock, which is kind of close to R2S Pearl, and it's finished at 4K fast. So, looking at this, I thought it was just going to be another long and sharp ball, which is exactly what I was wanting it to be, just something that'll get down the lane and then turn the corner. Something nice and flippy. Instead, I got a very pleasant surprise. It's still long, it doesn't read the lane early at all, but it's very controllable off the spot. And to me, that's just the Spectre again. I love the Spectre, and I was so mad when it got hard banned, but this ball just reminds me so much of that ball. But let's actually let you see the ball reaction, so let's get on the lane. Alright, here we have the Wolverine Dark Moss, and get one. It's good. In all seriousness, the ball reaction is very interesting to me based on my previous experiences with R2S, which S70 is supposed to be very close to. This ball is very round off the spot and very controllable off the spot, whereas in my previous experiences with R2S, it's like one of the sharpest covers I've ever thrown. And but that being said, this one keeps the cleanness of R2S, which overall amounts to it's a weaker ball than I was thinking it was going to be. But I'm not upset about it, because this is a very, very usable reaction on a lot of things. It has that extra length that R2S gets, but it's just that smooth roll off the spot that just, it makes it one of my favorite reactions I've gone to throw this year. Now, this one reminds me a ton of the original Spectre. Shape-wise, at least. Hook potential-wise, the Spectre did hook a little bit more, but that was due to cover formula strength. It had R3S, so it was that like one step up. But shape-wise, they are very, very similar to where they were both symmetric pearls that controlled the lane extremely well. And I've just fallen in love with this reaction. I've actually gotten to use the Wolverine on 2 different sport shots this past weekend. The first one being Arsenic, which it actually looked pretty good on later in the day once a little bit more friction had built up. But on the 2020 World Bowling Beijing pattern, it just kind of, I never had the friction to bounce off of with it, which was sad because I do love throwing this ball. It's just, it's the type of reaction you want to see when all you are really concerned about is keeping your ball from overreacting. Now, of course, like on that shot, if you pull it in, it's going to go Brooklyn, but it's so controllable that as long as you're doing close to the right thing, I feel you're going to be okay. Now, that being said, I never had the original Wolverine because store never sent one to me. Because I chose that ball as my Spectre replacement, and I was really excited for it. But the day that it was supposed to arrive at my house was the day the USBC decided to do their soft ban, so Storm recalled it. got a pitch black instead. But if the original Wolverine was anything like this, I understand why so many people like that ball. Now, this is a ball that I would use on both this house shot and sport shot. It's just, like I said, it's just so controllable. It's one of those things where you don't really have to worry about overreaction unless you really, really throw a bad shot, which is always a good thing. Now, if I were to build an arsenal around this ball, it would definitely be like a 3-ball. It is not 2-ball strong. And I would say you would want something like shape complements with it. I would say go for something like, honestly, I would say go for like a dark code in the number 1 slot. It's a lot sharper than it. But with it being that such a mild and medium reaction, I feel you're wanting something that is a little bit stronger in its own characteristics for the other 2 balls, or for the other bowling balls. So I would say go for something like a dark code and like a phase 2 for your 1 and 2 balls. Like have something angular, have something very smooth, and have this be that kind of like medium strength, medium reaction ball. Then you could jump down to like a honestly, I've never thrown a high road pearl, but at least not enough to have a ton of experience with it. But maybe something like that, drilled weaker, could be a step below, or you could throw like a hyped solid right underneath this, or like an IQ tour. Like something with a similar strength cover, but definitely a very different core. And then you could jump down to pretty much any hustle, or electrify, or whatever. Like just your favorite entry level. Hustles and electrifies are the standard burner. But that's kind of like how I would want to build an arsenal around it. Like just to have those different shape complements to it, considering it's not an impressive reaction. Like it's not extremely smooth and early, it's not extremely late and sharp. It's just controllable. Especially for a pearl ball, it's controllable, but it's controllable in general. And it's that quiet reaction that just, it does what you need it to do. I'm not on staff, so this hype is just me really enjoying throwing this ball. But that being said, I have been OSIMA Ball Reviews. Oh shoot, I missed again. Hope I don't miss y'all next time. Thanks for watching.